yes, there is competition, but the way that the local brands see it is very different. Everybody have their own niche, especially after so many years, right? We kind of have all this niche, and we kind of understand that if we don't work together, we don't kind of set our foot together, it's not going to be good for us in the long run, right? Especially with other foreign companies and so on and so forth. So locally, they have this kampong spirit, and I really love them. Yeah, they're very welcoming.
Hello everyone! Welcome to Volare Talks. This is a podcast from Volare Advertising Network. How are you everyone? Semoga semuanya baik-baik saja, sehat selalu. Ada saya Nia Elvira dan hari ini seperti biasa menjadi moderator di podcast kali ini. And now, we're not alone of course. Sekarang kita sudah kedatangan seorang CEO. We have Chief Executive Officer from Madverse. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Tony Tan. Virtual applause boleh kali ya kita
Alright.
semuanya ya.
You're too kind. Obviously, thank you for hosting me also as well. You have such a beautiful voice, as I mentioned also. So you make this really easy for me.
Thank you
you
so
for having
much.
me, and thank you for Volare as well. Yeah.
Okay, looking sharp, looking good, and
yeah,
accidentally twinning.
Yeah,
Yeah?
absolutely.
We have good chemistry. How are you anyway?
Not too bad. It's a busy period. We're ending the year. Q4 is coming in, so a lot of projects coming in. Yeah.
Okay, and first of all, thank you for coming and making the time on your very busy schedule, I
appreciate
bet. Because today, we're gonna share something serious but make it fun.
Yes.
Jadi kita sama teman-teman nih, kita pengen ngobrol-ngobrol dengan Pak Tony Tan, seorang CEO dari Madverse, dan kita akan membahas tentang from local movement to global brand with purpose and digital soul. Jadi mungkin teman-teman juga ada yang masih bias ya, Madverse itu apa? Jadi Madverse ini adalah salah satu company yang menggaungi satu brand. Ini adalah beauty brand yang bernama Mad for Makeup. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. But before we start the story, let me ask Mr. Tony Tan first about his story. Okay. Okay. Because this is something new, maybe, for CEO, a male CEO,
Oh, yeah.
to jump in a beauty products.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Yeah, there are not many of us. I think Lux Crime, Claire DePio is also a bit of a male guy. But yeah, you're right. It's uncommon.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
uncommon.
So maybe you can share about your background story first before
Sure.
you jump into the math first.
Okay, absolutely. It's I have the weirdest background story actually. To be honest with you, I used to be in oil and gas, and I started out as engineering, and I did business development. as you know,
Wow.
yeah, I did for about 5 to 6 years. And one day, my wife, she's an aesthetic doctor in Indonesia, and she goes to me and she says, "Hey, a lot of my clients are asking about acne-safe makeup, and when you look around the market, we couldn't find any. So we thought, hey, maybe there's something we can do. So we started to look around, and turns out, yeah, there really this opportunity. You can look at skincare. There's a lot of acne care, but there wasn't a lot for makeup. So we thought maybe we can do something, but we didn't know how. So we started to ask people, right? We said, hey, how do you want it? How do you like it? Because as we go around Indonesia, we start to notice that a lot of the shades, they didn't really represent who we are. A lot of times you look at it, it's like boulet models or girls who are really fair.
Yeah.
So they didn't kind of fit what I thought, or thought we were as Indonesians, right? So we thought, okay, let's start to ask them and start to build this up. Little did we know, we start to build up the number one beauty community in Indonesia, and that's kind of how helped us move forward. We end up as a top 100 brand in the world for Instagram. It's because of all this community and this idea. And this is kind of so I do apologize. I know you asked me very specifically about who I am. But I can't tell this story without sharing all the people that came in to help us. Yes,
of course.
absolutely.
Okay, so you guys did a lot of research.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have to. You
Yeah,
have to.
because nowadays, maybe like 10 or 5 years earlier, the beauty brands, local beauty brands, is getting crazy in Indonesia.
Yeah.
And the quality is very, very good also.
Yes.
Oh, okay, maybe you can tell about or share a little bit about Mad for Makeup.
Okay, so Mad for Makeup, as I mentioned previously, is an acne-safe beauty brand that's powered by the community.
Yes.
So we are literally community driven. Basically, everything we do, from how this packaging should look like, how this shade should look like, it's all tested with community, and that's kind of how we do it. In terms of why we're really, really different, is that we not only take this element of creation, we combine it with element of creativity also as well. So we have this really curated sense of style and appreciation, and the idea is to build confidence in young women, and
Yeah.
that's what Mad for Makeup is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your career journey is very fascinating, yeah.
Ah.
And from global corporate roles to the startup world,
Hmm.
and now the beauty industry, what inspired your transition?
Actually, I'm going to be honest. It's money, right? So you
Yeah,
look
of
at
course.
well, on oil and gas, the margin's about 5%, 6%, and when you come to beauty, you start to realize, oh, there's a lot of space. But the reason why I stayed is not because of that; it's because there's a lot of opportunity to do good here. So when we first started, I think one of the reasons why we called Mad is that, and why we call our audience rebels, is we think a lot of people are lying in the industry. So we started to say, what else can we tell the truth about? What can we do? And the people who follow us, we call them rebels for that reason. Yeah.
Oke, dari semua beauty brands yang hadir di Indonesia, Made for Makeup ini ternyata salah satu top of mind juga.
Oh.
Yeah, for me as a female and also use makeup, dan saya ngerasa di sini kalau misalkan Made for Makeup tuh convince us that they create something different. Yes, and from your point of view, why had such strong potential to be approached differently?
Oh, this is a great question here also as well. Actually, we start off with this real idea here. To be very honest with you, the reason why we don't have sunscreen or we don't have a lot of products that are very common is because if we don't think that we can make an impact in your life with that product, we don't make it. That's as simple as it is. So we're very lucky to start off with this premise because we have this large community that feeds us this data, and they tell us, hey, I don't like it this way. I don't want this. I don't need that. So we kind of know, like for example, you have too much sunscreen. Very good sunscreen. Shout out to local brands, really good sunscreen out there also as well. So we won't be making things that we cannot make an impact on. So that's how we become different. We are different because by nature of the start is that, we're trying to create something that can help you be more confident, be more beautiful. And that's how we think about it. Yeah.
Be more confident, be more beautiful with our own way.
Absolutely. Because actually the product is an illusion for the consumer at this stage, to be honest with you. If you're looking for a product just for solution, like cups and things like that, there are many, and you can buy it very, very cheap. But if you're looking for something to help you feel better and help you enhance your life and see who you are and who you can be, you have to come in with a very different approach, and then that's how we do it. Yeah.
Maybe you can share to us in male's perspective. Yeah.
Oh, as a guy's perspective,
yes.
This is the most confusing and most difficult market.
Yes.
So I'll give you an example. We do a test survey. We ask women, okay, explain to me your perfect cup of coffee. Right? 85% of women will say it's strong, it's fragrant, it's a hearty roast. Right? Sounds like a good cup of coffee, black.
Yeah.
But if you test it in real life, actually 70% wants weak milky coffee. They prefer latte.
Exactly.
So it's a very interesting market where, and it's not only about customer needs. What they say and what they prefer to purchase is two different set of things, and you really have to discover their needs because they may not be able to explain or communicate it clearly. So you have to really learn to listen so that you can really understand and create something very different for them. Yeah. So it's from a male perspective, this is the hardest thing because you normally, if I want to buy a car, I look at the engines, I look at the fuel mileage.
Yeah.
For them, and maybe just for consumers to understand, beauty is a 400-year-old market. So to be honest, not that many things are new, right? There are a lot of things.
Really?
Yeah, 400 years. Since Cleopatra put on that blue eyeshadow, since people put on the white powder, there has been, and a very simple way to think about it is, does any color or lipstick doesn't exist? No, almost everything exists in that sense. So it's a very different type of market. It's not just a problem to solution market. And I think as a guy, that's a very big difference. It's a very emotional and a very personal market, and you must be able to feel that need. And if you cannot do that, you're going to end up having a lot of trouble. Yeah.
Okay. And Made for Makeup is very progressive, I guess.
Oh,
started last year, right?
We started actually about 6 years ago at this point, around 6 years ago at this point. And progressive as in like politically perhaps. And I think for us, we are approach it through a very common sense approach.
Yeah.
For example, when a few years ago, there was a RUPKS situation, sexual violence against women. And for us, it's not about being political. It's just common sense. You want protection for women under this kind of circumstances. So together with Body Shop, we did a lot of merchandise. We did a lot of promotions just to talk about this. Lucky for us, that thing is signed. So for us, we don't see ourselves as progressive. We see ourselves as common sense company, right? If it makes sense, it makes sense. It makes sense to have so that's
it's very generous also, right?
Generous is okay, but for us, it just makes sense. So we work together with companies like Body Shop, for example, for the RUPKS, even also recently situations like this. We think that it's important to have common sense as a brand.
Okay. Yeah, from the beginning, you have the vision.
Yes.
From the start, you came into the Mad for Makeup. What vision do you want to bring, and how is that vision evolve over time?
Oh, the vision evolves so much. I'm a very classic guy. So basically, when you come in the market, as I mentioned before, we saw an opportunity for profit. That's the simple idea. But when we reach this goal, we realize that there's an opportunity to help people, and this vision changed a lot. And we realized that can also help us earn a lot more money. So the vision has changed for us a lot. We believe that, Indonesia is the fourth largest population in the world. Fourth largest population, right? There is K beauty, there's I beauty, there is even like smaller countries with beauty that everybody knows about. But why isn't there Indonesian beauty? So our vision changed towards not only just money, it's just that maybe we can show the world how beautiful Indonesian beauty is, right? As I mentioned to you previously, you go to Malaysia, they listen to Indonesian music. You go to Singapore, you can see the fashion of Jaksel. I think Indonesia is beautiful, and I want to show the world. So the vision has changed towards something like this. Yeah.
Oh my God. The fashion Jaxel, it's very, very interesting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Coming from you. Because, I believe Indonesia have so many things to present to the world, right? And so does Mad for Makeup also, right?
Yeah, that's
you
our
want to do global, right?
Have to. I think that's the idea here. You want to show the world Indonesian beauty is, because as you mentioned previously, the quality here actually is very, very strong. Like brands like BLP and Rover, they're very good products also as well. But you need a different pair of eyes to look at it. I think sometimes it's like this, right? There's a gem and we need somebody to look at it. So that's our aim. We plan to go global. We want to show the world how beautiful Indonesian beauty can be. Yeah.
Okay. And how about the challenge or the competitive moment with beauty brands in Indonesia? There's so many, right?
Yeah, it's okay. There is a lot of competition in this market, and there are three type of markets that exist in Indonesia, right? So there's a land of we call land of dragons, like higher brands like Lancome, La Mer. They'll blow you out if they get Johnny Depp the next day to do marketing. Then there's land on bottom, is land of China, cheap production, very, very cheap goods. Quality is okay, not the best, but not the worst. And they will flood you out with pricing. So we're left with really this middle segment market, right? So you have indie brands like us doing much better and on all this. There is very heavy competition, but Indonesia is one of the fastest growing in terms of middle income also as well, although last year's statistics that shrink a bit. But in general, it's been a space that allowed a lot of us to be very creative, to be very, very happy. And to be honest with you, the local brands at least, don't look at it as competition. They think of it as the boat kind of floats all of us together. So to the point that we even have a beauty group together with
interesting,
like Tasha Farasha and so on. We are all this in this group with Wada also as well, and they're very supportive. I'll tell you a very simple example. Even the first time when I had my when I did a booth kind of like exhibition, next to me was a brand called Lux Crime, and there's a guy named Fadri. Fadri is the owner of Lux Crime. Another guy, so very rare. He would even go to my booth and help me take my products to help me sell to the people that were going to the events. Yes, it's and even BLP also will help us up also as well. So I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, there is competition, but the way that the local brands see it is very different. Everybody have their own niche, especially after so many years, right? We kind of have all this niche, and we kind of understand that if we don't work together, we don't kind of set our foot together, it's not going to be good for us in the long run, right? Especially with other foreign companies and so on and so forth. So locally, they have this kampong spirit, and I really loved it. Yeah, they're very welcoming. Absolutely.
Yeah. In Indonesia, we call it gotong royong.
Oh,
right?
gotong royong.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah. We collaborate, togetherness, and doing something together to have some goals to do the best for beauty brands in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Okay, but in beauty landscape, there's so many changes. It's like split of second, right? And how does Metaverse keep the brand relevant without losing your identity as Indonesian brand?
Okay. Actually, this is an easy question for us because, as I mentioned, we are a community-based brand, so
Yeah.
we're always with the people. Our slogan is "People first," right? People and quality first. That's how we think about everything. So we don't chase any trends. Basically, all we do is just listen to the audience, see how they're going, see how they understand, see how they see the world, and we listen to them. As simple as that. And that helped us really keep relevant throughout this year. So even 5 years in, 6 years in, we're still one of the top engaging beauty brands in Indonesia, or at least in the world. It's because, yeah, we just listen. As simple as that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you did the research to
I
our
see.
people?
Yeah, so because we have one of the largest communities in Indonesia, we have a lot of data sets, right? So we can run a lot of surveys very quickly. So we have smaller sets for product testing, larger sets for more general testing, and an even larger set for confirmations on certain marketing theories if we think it spends a lot of money. So how we do it is we break it into this three kind of data category and kind of approach them, ask them honestly also as well, repeat the surveys a few times or so in different manners just to confirm the data. And that's how we kind of find out what we should do. Yeah.
Wow. It's like a pioneer thing about comms heavy, right?
It's in terms of community a bit different, but nowadays I think larger companies are also using this as well.
Oke. Jadi teman-teman, Made for Makeup ini memang dikenal sebagai pelopor acne safe cosmetics, which is ini the first one in Indonesia, right?
When we first started.
Ya, ketika 5 tahun yang lalu memulai Made for Makeup ini dan hadir di Indonesia. And what we gonna ask to Tony, how was this positioning developed and why is it important for a business perspective?
Okay, positioning is everything in my industry, right? Imagine you're a 400-year-old industry, positioning is everything. It's the same as fashion also as well. This is not the same as tech where you have a problem and you're trying to solve it and it's easy to scale, right? This is this has to be a positioning game in a sense. So how do you develop positioning is an incredibly difficult thing. Just now I was talking to the team. Yeah, it's 360 marketing, right? So not only your brand story, your products, your touch points, every single element has to be consistent with this positioning that you want to do. And how do you develop this positioning from the initial idea is that there's only two parts. One is you learn by mistake, right? So initially my positioning wasn't correct. I was trying on a cheaper site. It didn't really work out well. So first is you learn by mistake, and second is you really have to understand your competitors as well as the market also as well. You have to understand what can they buy, what do they need, and you have to work towards the need rather than your ego. So my recommendation is that because rather than
That's nice.
I think that's essential for any business, right?
Yeah.
It's not saying I come in and I want to open a fashion store. It's how can your fashion store succeed. And then if you approach it this way, you will find the correct positioning, I believe.
Yeah, but sometimes people forget about it, right?
I see. Yes.
So thank you for reminding us.
No, the worst thing I ever heard, usually I really dislike it is that a lot of friends come and tell me is that they want to open cafe. So if you have any friends that want to open cafe, you have to ask them why, right? You have to ask them why. Because if they think that it's because they see a successful cafe as Anang and everything, it's not so easy, right? Because if you look at it, the costing is going to be location, it's going to be the machine, it's going to be the people. In fact, location is the most expensive part. And if your location is not good, then why are you different from other people? Coffee is so competitive, it's so different. So where is the positioning for that? Then you have to start to ask this question, how can I succeed? So the positioning question is a strategic question. So you have to ask both of them together.
Okay, maybe we can say it's about mindset, first of all.
Maybe, perhaps. But any business person, I think, would think of this also as well.
Okay, and that what makes Made for Makeup come into top 100 global beauty brand. Congratulations.
That's we've been appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys grown significantly.
Well, it's not too bad. We're top 100 on Instagram, but there are like 90 over brands in front of us. The idea is how can we continue to do better, I think. Yeah.
Maybe you can share to us what kind of digital strategies that you guys did.
So we actually start off, as I mentioned to you, we have an agency. We start off agency, right? We did Olay, we did Revlon, we did all these companies. We helped them with their digital marketing because that time we didn't have that many products to do, and they wanted our assistant. So for us, we have same as any agency. We have a strategic planning concept towards it, 360. But the thing that really makes us different, really is this community element, right? So we're able to not only do KOL marketing, we can do KOC marketing. We can make sure that through every funnel, you have a touch point where somebody can talk to you and really does it. But the way we like to do it is that we like to kind of make it very personal. So if you've ever seen the campaigns that we do, or you ever seen the works that we do, it's not just another photo and you put a discount on it. We never have that. We remove, if I ever see that, we'll remove it or we won't have it, because that's not the point of it. The point for the campaign is that it has to communicate clearly A to B, right? It has to get you from, I don't know why I need this product, to I need to have this product. So for us, we use this very simple, it's no secret. If you go through IDA, you go through your strategic comms, it's always that kind of thing. But for us, we make sure that the message that we transmit resonates. We make sure the message that we transit always have this emotional element that really helps you get across, right?
That's what makes you more authentic and engaging.
Yeah, I guess that's the aim, but yeah.
So how do you keep Made for Makeup to be more engaging and more authentic?
Actually, I think the inverse is harder. So for us, we have this practice inside the company. So after you grow to a certain size, everything becomes numbers. But that's actually very dangerous, because if once you don't know your customers or you're not listening to your customers, you're going to have a very hard time doing anything you do. It's going to be very costly for your marketing. So we have this habit of getting the leads to kind of read through the comments on Twitter, read through the messages, or even try to reply to the audiences, even on the social media and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So they can keep this connection between them and the audience. And if they fall out of touch, we'll get them to come back again and do this, to really speak to the real people that buy the product. So instead of number 1 or 10, no, it's Sarah, it's John, what their stories are, who they are, and this is how we kind of build the brand. We have this luxury because, as you mentioned, the positioning for us has been more on the premium and more on the comfort side. We don't have this very crazy mass market approach, so we've been very lucky. But that's how we keep the authenticity.
Yeah. Wow, you have a very interesting job at Made for Makeup.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what makes you more challenged. You have challenge to do Made for Makeup better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you mentioned earlier, Made for Makeup is seen as highly digital savvy. Maybe you can share to us about how you built a brand that truly understands today's digital first consumer.
I think the funny thing is that when we start that, because digital was the cheapest media you could do it, you cannot not do it through this manner, right? So obviously, number one, a lot of trial and errors till we reach this point. But in order for us to really develop this, a very good dashboard is important. A very good structure is very important, and a very good understanding of how this whole company, this customer process flows. So even for performance managers, when we bring them in, we train them from even the point where how to pack. Right, how the packing is done, all the way to how the customer receives it. So they have to understand this funnel really, really well in order to really utilize what they can.
Okay. And beauty consumers today want more than just products. They want experiences. Yes. And how do you create, with Made for Makeup team, a personalized and human customer journey, especially for a fully digital brand?
This is a tricky question for sure. But as I mentioned, the whole team goes through this customer journey on purpose. We have a period in the year, and we'll reach it soon already. In Q4, usually what we do is every year we'll review this customer journey and say, how can we make this, whatever it is right now, how can we make this even more personal, even better? So last year we had this tin can concept. So every time you buy from us, you will get this tin can. It's reusable. It's nice. This year we asked a question at the end of last year, and then we do it this year. We say, okay, how does it smell? Right? Okay, so we put perfume inside. Okay, how does it feel? Is there a tea bag? So we put a tea bag inside. Do we want to know who's packing or not? So if you scan the tea bag, you can see the person that's working, that's packing the product also as well.
Really?
Yeah, you can do that also as well.
Wow.
So we want to make sure every touch point for you, you understand the brand, you understand yourself, you understand what you're getting into. But to be very honest with you, being digital is like having a digital girlfriend. It's not going to work out the way you think it is. So we still have to go offline, and this year is our first year. So we're going to have an event in Ashta. We have a pop-up on the 3rd floor. So if you guys are free, come on down.
When is that?
Yeah, next month, actually in 2 more weeks. That's why a bit busy.
October.
Yeah, in October 1st, we'll have that. We'll have the first brow spa in Indonesia, right? So you come in, we'll put on the pads, you draw your brows, we'll give you a massage, herbal tea,
Okay, teman-teman kita datang ya.
Yeah, but so to be honest with you, yes, you have to still, in order to make personal, we also have an element where we speak a lot to them. So we have social media team that's larger than most companies in order to make sure that we connect and touch base with them, right? Engagement and talking to them is a key KPI for us. So that's how we kind of do it. So we approach it through a very personalization on the digital side. We have the offline merchandise that is also very personal. And third is you also still have to have an offline touch point like Ashta. And that's how we kind of maintain this experience in a sense.
Yeah, because the offline experience is more satisfying, right? Dan ini juga jadi penasaran juga ya teman-teman ya, karena dibilang juga sama Tony tadi kalau digital savvy itu sangat penting untuk bisnis zaman sekarang, terlebih untuk platform makeup. Dan kita penasaran juga, platform apa nih yang paling efektif? Oke Tony, which platforms have proven most effective for this engagement?
Actually, strangely for us, Instagram. This is probably the opposite of what most people would say.
Instagram?
Yeah. So a lot of people would just say TikTok.
Yes.
Now, each of them have different values, right? So TikTok is really great for a cheaper scale. So KOCs can scale really, really quickly, really, really nicely. So if you need very strong awareness, TikTok's great. But the TikTok market in Indonesia is, as you can tell from the TikTok sales also as well, it's a very, I see it cheap and I buy it and kind of impulsive market, right?
Yeah.
So if you're building brand, if you really want to build brand and not just sales, you would probably need a place where you can speak and you can listen and you have stories and you have things like that. And that's why Instagram works better for us. It's the most effective form of marketing for us because the audience are listening. But again, this requires cultivation, requires time, requires you to spend time with the audience and understand them. But if you're looking for quick scale, obviously TikTok's really good, very cheap also as well. If you're not looking only just for scale and you want to build a brand, Instagram for us is a better platform. Yeah.
Oke, jadi Instagram tuh membuat kita lebih terkoneksi karena mungkin kita bisa membaca cerita-ceritanya ya. Oke. Ketika kalau TikTok kan memang cepat banget ya, fast pace ya, very fast ya. Ini memang digital era tuh trend driven banget ya sebenarnya ya. And how does a metaverse embrace trends without losing the brand's identity itself?
So for us on let's say for example we want to utilize TikTok. It's not that we don't use this channels also as well, but you have to be very careful. Now, if you do, sometimes we make mistakes and we try out these things, but you have to be very careful of how you curate your brand, and you must have a very clear communication hierarchy as well as a clear brand principle for your team to kind of follow.
How is it?
How do they talk? What is the first thing they talk about? Second thing they talk about? Third thing they talk about? What is the thing that they shouldn't talk about? And how is the emotion and mood? So we try to make sure that any social media that works for us is like a personality. We call it medis, right? We call it medis. So if for those who knows Mad for Makeup, we call them medis. We develop this personality for them so that they kind of keep this core principle about who this brand is. So when they go out and when they interact and they go and spread and they go and do the marketing, it still maintains within this sense of principle. It's definitely not easy because you can be very tempted. Like you said, TikTok is such an easy way to scale the thing. So it's very nice to I just flip this table and I do some weird dance and it go viral, right? Those are tempting, but at the same time, it's short-term game, long-term sacrifice. So for us, the same reason why we don't do heavy discounts also as well is that you have to think of the brand value. I think that's essentially the long-term play. Yeah.
Okay. Sekarang saya mau nanya sama Tony juga. If you have to choose, which one do you prefer, Instagram or TikTok?
I personally don't even have TikTok on my phone. So I have Instagram. I'm first obviously a bit older.
I'm not alone.
No,
I don't have TikTok also.
I see. Second is that I find that it's more interesting for me, at least. I think maybe it's curated better for me and so on and so forth.
Exactly. And talk about campaign. You have so many campaign with a very, very curated and well personality with very deep identity also. Maybe you have like one favorite campaign?
Yes, no, of course. I think every marketer at heart has one that really resonates with them. This was a couple years ago. It's actually the Mean Girls campaign. So at that time, we were having a disagreement with the people who invested in us, in a sense, and we did a BT21 campaign beforehand, and that's very mass market. It worked very well for us. We go through a lot of things, but when we look at the identity of the brand and we look at what we wanted to achieve and really help people, we found that the people that were listening to us, that were really talking to us, was the people that really love this brand called Mean Girls, right? Mean Girls is, for those who don't know this movie, it's with Lindsay Lohan, and we even got Lindsay Lohan, which is quite nice that time.
Yeah.
So it's a movie that it's a bit niche. It is niche, but it specifically speaks towards the audience, and it worked out. It's one of the best campaigns we ever had. It sold out within, I think, a week. So it took us a lot of courage for us to say, okay, we're not going to do something that's just mass market. We're going to do something that's a bit more niche, something that's more purposeful, something that speaks to the audience. And we ourselves like also as well. My wife is a huge fan of Mean Girls. And if you speak to a Jaksel girl, they quote Mean Girls, they quote it every day, right?
Yeah.
So it's something that we really love because it took a lot of courage for us, and it took a lot of courage for us to do something like this. And we're not usually a pink brand, so it was a fun thing for us to do, to make it all pink and furry and so on and so forth.
Okay. What insights that make you proudest?
Okay, the thing that makes us proudest is, first, obviously, we got Lindsay Lohan, which we never thought we could get to do that for us. Second is that it was with Paramount. So Paramount is a US company, right? And we never worked with a US company before. And one of the proudest is that it will require a lot of those who work with IPs, you require a lot of checkings, a lot of things to do well. Yeah. And that was one of the things that it kind of showed that our company was structurally ready to achieve better also as well. So this helped the company kind of develop towards that. Yeah.
Wow, that's huge.
At that time, yes, at that time. Yeah.
And how you manage or make a benchmark?
So you're right, that's difficult. So obviously the initial benchmark, let's say for KPIs, was the BT21, right? So we look at the benchmark and say, I think the top line view was, I think we expect 30 million views. So the benchmark was 30 million views. That was how we set it up, all the way from the IDA side. And yeah, we hit it. That was the thing that made us also very proud for that, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, virtual applause lagi ya.
Okay.
Ini luar biasa sekali sih teman-teman. Karena memang bisa dibilang beauty brands di Indonesia itu memang sudah sangat menjamur gitu ya. Banyak sekali beauty brands yang memberikan banyak sekali unique selling point-nya. Dan salah satunya adalah made for makeup. And kita bakal tanya lagi sama Tony ya tentang gimana sih caranya membuat beauty campaign yang sukses. Mungkin teman-teman di sini juga ada yang berencana untuk membuat brand. So we will ask Tony. In your view, what makes a beauty campaign successful today? And does it need to be bold, educational, emotionally resonant, or maybe something else?
So I think, as you brought up already, the brands that are left here, we've been through a lot. We've been through Chinese style, we've been through everything, and we're still surviving and thriving. We're having our best years because we are doing this really well. You cannot not only be one, you have to be all three. You got to be bold, you got to be emotionally resonant, and you have to be informative. It's actually basically your IDA funnel, if you think about it, right? Yeah. So you have to start off with your A, your I, your DA. So in order to make it successful, you have to think 360, right? Not only from the point when your marketing just comes out. Marketing shouldn't end only just because you post one Instagram. What is your offline event like? What is the PR kits like? What is the KOL communication like? What is the KOC like? What is the review like? What is your defense? There's nowadays for marketing, there's offense, there's defense. How are you playing this thing? So you first obviously need to understand your funnels and your channels really well. But second, actually, to make it very simple, the easiest and most important thing is understanding your audience. You really got to understand your audience. So if you understand your audience, from that point of view, everything I talk about is easy. Understand your audience, understand your funnel, combine these two together, and you have something that's emotionally resonant, bold, and as well as, actually the informative part is the easiest one. It's like if you want to feed a cat medicine, you put them in like something sweet, or you let it eat it. Information is actually the easiest thing to share. It's getting them, their attention. Because
when they get hooked, they will come in.
Because every day there is millions and millions of content. So if you listen to Instagram talk about it, Instagram says 70%. I'm not sure how true this is. 70% of content on Instagram is not seen. That means not a single like or not seen. 70%. So if you're fighting this large amount of things, are you emotionally resonant? Are you bold? Do you understand your audience well enough? This is the game to play. The levels are no longer just singular. They have to be multitudes. They have to be all these things together.
How you grab your audience and they stay with us.
Yeah. But I recommend the first part is to understand them, understand their problems. Let's say, just a very simple example.
Just be their friend.
Yeah, be their friend, right? Yeah, be their friend, understand them. So one of the things was we had this product during COVID, and we're very lucky. We noticed a lot of people working at home, right? Aircon and all these kind of things. So we asked the audience, what do they want? If they didn't want a lipstick that was too bold and too anything, but they wanted something that was really healing, at the same time a bit of wana that can last throughout 6 hours, 8 hours. So we start to say, is there this product in the market? So we created something called tinted lip balm, right? Tinted lip balm. At the time was very new in the market, and the shades were too light. So we wanted to create something that's more bolder, that's a bit stronger. By listening to the audience, we did that. And the campaign was very simple. It was just basically not another lipstick. I think this is not lipstick. Sorry, the campaign poster was this is not lipstick. So immediately it's a challenge. It's an emotional thing. It's like, what is this then if it's not lipstick? Because it looks exactly like lipstick.
Yeah.
So using this kind of ideas of understanding the audience, creating a product that resonates with them, and then challenging them, just something emotional, something that could be doesn't have to be emotional, also can be empowering. You can move them towards all the funnels that you need to do. And then after the rest of the marketing funnels are quite set up, all the performance will know this already. Those who are listening, you understand this, then you can flow it through. But it has to start with this core messaging coming from the consumer, then flowing it all the way out. Yeah.
Wow, and look at you guys now.
No, it's pretty standard. I think most brands are doing this as well. Yeah.
You have a high standard, yeah.
This is an industry where like WADA's in our chat group, MOP's in our chat group. So these are very strong brands as well. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And coming to our last question, looking back, what's been the biggest lesson in building a brand like Made for Makeup?
I think it's the most surprising lesson is that I think every CEO will always have some levels of burnout. Like some days are worse, some days are good.
Yeah.
The biggest lesson for me is that the impact that I could have with my team and my staff also as well. I didn't realize it at the start, but so in my dialect, I'm Teochew. In dialect, we say tauke. Tauke in my language means, in my dialect, it means head of family. Mm-hmm. And I never think about this. So every time you see a boss, you always say tauke, tauke, tauke. I don't know what that means, boss, boss, boss. But when I'm older, I realized that actually means you're the head of the family. Because last time in China's side, you used to stay together with your workers, you make sure that they go to school and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. They get married, you also give the dowry. And this is something that I realized that I could do with Made for Makeup. So a lot of very, very good kids come to me. A lot of Gen Z comes to me. And I realized that through this company, we could create something for them. We can create something that helps them better their life. Because I don't think Indonesian minimum pay is correct. So that's what we try and do. And basically we think that, so this is a surprising thing for me in the sense that we could have this impact on people's life. And I want to continue to do that as well.
That's interesting. I have a personal question.
Yes.
How about the age gap?
The age gap, yes. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm young at heart, I guess.
Of course.
Maybe I'm young at heart.
We are.
But I hope, actually, the age gap, first is data. Data helps me keep up the age gap. But second, I'm very lucky to hire a lot of professionals. When they come in, they understand immediately how things are. And I think when you speak to people on the same level, so for us, we are very, as I mentioned, service driven. So we are service leadership in this company. There is nobody that is above or below. We all work together towards the same goal, which is trying to make the rebels, trying to make our audience happy, right? And we have that, and we have that blessing. I think also you probably also as well. When we come to work, we are creating something that can make people happy. So that's
yeah. I believe one quotes, do what you like is freedom, but liking what you do is happiness.
Oh, yeah. That's nice. That's nice.
When we love what we do, we get happy, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, and what's next for Made for Makeup and for Medverse?
So for us, as I mentioned, into the fourth biggest population in the world, and they haven't seen Indonesian beauty that much. I want to change that. That's the idea. So we're going to go out. I think a lot of brands know already. We're planning to go to Malaysia. We're trying to spread the seed there. And after that, further on, let's see where the wind takes us. But, the quality of Indonesia is not something to be underestimated. So I think it's something that the world should see. Yeah.
Just spread to the world.
Yeah, spread to the world. Absolutely.
Let them see what we have.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's next for you?
Personally,
yes.
We'll probably also have maybe a few brands and so on and so forth. But I want to bring up more of my staff into leadership positions and kind of train them to be ready for it. And that's me. That's personally for me. Yeah.
Okay. And maybe anything you want to add to our audience?
No, I appreciate your time. There's definitely a lot of curious questions for sure from the guys' audience. Mm-hmm. So if you guys have any questions, comments, just write down. If I have time, I'll go down and I'll try to answer as many as I can. Mm-hmm. But, the position that we come from is a FMCG, and we'll work out for FMCG also as well. But if you don't like a brand play, this is not going to be very helpful for you, right? Yeah, this is very different.
Maybe you can share some tips for our audience who want to build startup maybe or join your community.
I see. Oh, if you want to join a community, that's by all means, please. We have yoga classes every Wednesday and so on. Please come in. But if you want to start a startup, you should always start with the question of what's the problem you're trying to solve and why you're very different. Just ask these two questions. If you can't answer these two questions, don't do it. Oh. Yeah. You need to answer these two questions. Just two questions. But if you cannot answer these two questions, I don't recommend you do it. Unless you have like some weird relationship with somebody, different things. So what are you solving and why are you different? Right?
Oh, that's the two questions.
Yeah, just start with these two. It's
Let's make it bold and underline. The first question is,
okay. What are you trying to solve? What problem are you trying to solve? And why are you different? Yeah.
okay.
Why are you different? Sometimes, right? I'll give you an example. So in product team, we do a lot of this kind of thinking. So I'll give you an example called underwater barbecue. It's very unique. It solves a problem where if you want to barbecue underwater, yeah, but it's not for anybody, right? It's not for everybody. So the problem, you need to really work on the problem. Are you solving for somebody that needs something or not? Because even this microphone connector, this is a really great product. Actually, a really good product. So if I need to connect all these things, okay, let me make this. If I can make this different, maybe I make on pricing. Again, it's the same as school. Just look at the 4 Ps again. Is it through price? Is it through product? Is it through placement? So WADA has better placement than anybody else. So they don't worry about price as much, a bit of price, and not so much products, not too bad also as well. So you can work on different elements. Just look through at the 4 Ps and it will help you figure it out also as well.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Tony. Very inspiring and very insightful. Semoga teman-teman juga mendapatkan insight yang banyak sekali ya di Volare podcast kita kali ini, di Volare Talks. And once again, thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you
It's
for
my
your
pleasure.
time. Ya, and kita pamit. Kita ketemu lagi nanti di episode yang lain ya, tentunya di Volare Talks. I'm Nia Elvira and
I'm Tony Tan. Thank you.
okay, see you on another episode. Bye.